Yellow leaves on your Monstera are not just a cosmetic problem. By the time you see that color change, something has already been going wrong underground, sometimes for weeks. You'll be back here with more yellow leaves in a month. So let's actually fix this, not with a generic water it less answer, but with a clear picture of what's happening inside your plant and exactly what to do about it. First, yellow leaves are a symptom, not a diagnosis. That's an important distinction. The leaf is turning yellow because it's not getting something it needs. It's the plant's way of signaling that something in its system has broken down. The leaf itself isn't the problem, it's just the messenger. What you need to figure out is why the leaf isn't getting what it needs. And in most cases, if you're growing Monstera indoors, there's one culprit that shows up far more often than anything else. Overwatering, that's the #1 reason Monstera leaves turn yellow for most plant owners. And I want to be clear about what overwatering actually means, because it's not just about how much water you're giving the plant at one time. It's about how often the roots are sitting in wet soil without a chance to dry out. Here's what happens inside the pot when you water too frequently. The roots are alive. They need oxygen just as much as they need water. When the soil is consistently wet, the air pockets in the soil fill up and the roots essentially start suffocating. They can't breathe, they can't function, and over time they start to break down. That breakdown is root rot. The roots turn dark, mushy, and they stop working. And here's where the yellow leaves come in. A healthy root system is what moves water and nutrients from the soil up through the plant. When those roots are damaged or dead, that delivery system shuts down. The leaves stop receiving what they need and they start turning yellow. What makes this tricky is that the damage is hidden. You don't see root rot happening. By the time the leaves change color, the roots may already be significantly compromised. That's why this problem gets misdiagnosed so often. People see the yellow leaves and think they need to add nutrients or adjust the light when the real issue is underground. Now, overwatering is the most common cause, but it's not the only one. Let me quickly cover the others so you can rule them out. Underwatering can also cause yellowing, usually with some wilting or curling involved. If the soil is bone dry and has been for a while, the plant is drought stressed. This is less common with Monstera since they're pretty drought tolerant, but it can happen. Low light over a long period can cause older leaves to yellow and drop. Monstera need bright, indirect light to stay healthy. A dark corner will eventually show up in the leaves. Nutrient deficiency, usually nitrogen, can cause a more uniform yellowing, often starting in older leaves. If you haven't fertilized in a long time and you're using depleted soil, this is worth considering. And finally, natural aging Lower leaves on any plant eventually die off. One yellowing leaf on an otherwise healthy, actively growing Monstera isn't cause for alarm. Context matters. That said, if you're seeing multiple yellow leaves, if it's happening frequently, or if new leaves are affected, overwatering and root issues are where you look first. Before you do anything, you need to actually diagnose what's going on. Here's how to do it properly. Check the soil. Stick your finger 2 inches into the soil. Is it wet and heavy, or dry and loose? If it's wet, and especially if it's been wet for a while, you already have your first clue. Check the drainage. Look at the pot. Does it have drainage holes? Water sitting at the bottom with nowhere to go is a major problem. If there's a saucer under the pot, is it always full of standing water? Smell the soil? This sounds strange, but it's one of the most reliable ways to identify root rot. Healthy soil smells like earth. Soil with root rot smells sour, musty, or like something has started decomposing, because it has. Look at the roots. If you suspect root rot, you need to take the plant out of the pot and actually look. Healthy roots are light white to tan and firm. Rotted roots are brown to black, soft, and they may fall apart when you touch them. If you see this, the problem is confirmed. Notice which leaves are yellowing. Lower and older leaves yellowing naturally is normal. But if it's spread across multiple leaves at different positions, or if newer growth is affected, that points to a systemic issue, not just aging. If you've confirmed root rot or overwatering damage, here's what to do in order. Stop watering immediately. Don't water again until the soil has dried out significantly, at least the top 2 to 3 inches. Remove the plant from its pot. Gently shake off the old soil from the roots. get a clear look at what you're working with. Trim the damaged roots. Use clean scissors or pruning shears. Cut off any roots that are dark, mushy, or smell bad. You want to keep only healthy, firm roots. If most of the roots are gone after trimming, that's okay, the plant can recover, but it will take time. Let the roots air out briefly. Leave the plant out of the pot for 20–30 minutes so the remaining roots can dry slightly before going back into soil. Repot into fresh, well-draining soil. Asterisk, don't reuse the old soil. Use a mix designed for good drainage, something like a standard potting mix combined with perlite or a specifically formulated aerate mix. The goal is soil that holds some moisture but doesn't stay wet for days. Use an appropriate pot. Terracotta pots help because they're breathable and wick moisture away from the soil faster than plastic. Make sure there are drainage holes. If you love a decorative pot without holes, use it as a cover. Keep the plant in a draining inner pot. Wait before watering again. After repotting, give it a day or two, then water thoroughly once and let it dry down before the next watering. A few things plant owners do that make this problem worse. Watering on a rigid schedule every Sunday, every week, no matter what. The soil doesn't care about your schedule. Water based on soil condition, not the calendar. Using dense, heavy soil that holds too much moisture. Potting mixes that compact over time or retain water for days create the exact conditions where root rot thrives. Assuming that yellowing means the plant needs more water is often the opposite of what's needed. If you're unsure, wait and check the soil first. And ignoring the first yellow leaf. One leaf is a signal. It's the plant telling you something is off. Catching it early makes the fix much simpler. Once you've fixed the problem, here's how to keep it from coming back. Only water when the top 2 inches of soil are dry. For Monstera, this usually means watering every 7–14 days, but that will vary based on your home's temperature, humidity, and light levels. The soil is always a better guide than the calendar. Use a well-draining soil mix. Aerate mixes with perlite, bark, or coarse sand are ideal. The goal is a mix that allows roots to breathe between waterings. Make sure your pot has drainage holes and that water can actually exit freely. After every watering, let excess water drain. Don't leave the pot sitting in water. Give your plant bright, indirect light. A plant in good light uses water more efficiently and stays more resilient overall. One important thing to understand: yellow leaves will not turn green again. Once a leaf loses its chlorophyll, it doesn't come back. You can remove those leaves, they won't recover. What you're watching for is asterisk new growth. If the plant puts out a new leaf that looks healthy, green, firm, unfurling properly, that's a sign the root system is recovering and the problem is behind you. Recovery takes time. Don't rush it, don't overcompensate with extra watering or fertilizer, and don't panic if things look slow for a few weeks. If you've repotted, trimmed the roots, and adjusted your watering, you've done the right things. The plant will tell you it's recovering by growing.